folks, Adam is here. Just finished shooting the other video, so now I'm doing this one. No costume change. I had to look for my props for the show. I was able to find it after hunting around for it forever. We're going to review. I have the words in my head before I'm saying them. I'm going to do a quick little review thingy on Singularity. I'm not going to give a lot away. I'm not going to tell you a lot of thing about it. We're going to keep it kind of spoiler free. That's why I'm not going to use any game footage, and I'm just going to keep it kind of short. This game was kick-ass. I loved it. Problem? Too fucking short. Too short. I beat this game in, I think, under 10 hours. And that's ridiculous. I can imagine. I think I paid $10.99 for this or something. That's not a bad price, you know. $10.99. I would not pay over $15 for this, folks. But it's worth around that, at least in my opinion, for the playthrough. It's kind of a first-person. It's got kind of a Bioshock-y feel, and a little bit of a. Trying to think of another game that might be a good. See, I'm not good at cover-based shooting, and you do have to do a little bit of cover-based shooting in this game. It's mainly like first-person shooter-ish. The way it starts off, and this isn't giving anything away, is the basic plot is you're on a squad that's heading to this island, an American military squad, to check out this island that the Soviet Union keeps denying exists, even though the U.S. has had, satellites fly over it as, taking pictures and everything. The Soviets are always like, it doesn't exist, we don't know what you're talking about, da-da-da-da-da. Well, it turns out, back in the day, they had discovered a new element on this island, and they were using it to create new technology. And there was an accident called what ends up being called the Singularity, but there was an accident that happened that caused them to shut down the space and basically hush the whole thing, kind of like a Philadelphia experiment or something like that, So anyway, you're on the team going in. You're heading in. As you're heading in, you kind of see like this statue hand kind of sticking out of the water, holding a sickle up. Kind of Lostian influence, in my opinion, which is cool. I love Lost. But something happens. There's like one of the events happens, which is kind of like a wave. This Singularity kind of is a perpetual kind of imploding and exploding in on itself and back, and it causes your helicopter to go down, and you end up making radio contact with your dudes and heading back to the main building, and you end up meeting up with one guy for sure out of the, I think it was like a 4 or 5 man squad, including the helicopter pilot who died in the wreck. And turns out you and this other guy are like the only ones kind of left, but you kind of start making your way there, and strange things start happening. I mean, you start kind of like seeing things that aren't necessarily there. That's why it kind of reminded me a little of Dead Space when Isaac's having his hallucinations and stuff. You start kind of seeing things, and you're not sure if they're really there or not there or whatever. And you meet up with this guy, and I mean, you'll be in a certain area, and then Singularity will happen, and you'll be 50 years plus in the past, and there'll be Russian guys running around and gals and stuff, and stuff's on fire, and you're trying to get through buildings and stuff, and then all of a sudden it'll flash back, and you'll be in the ruins of whatever building you're in, that type of deal. There's this thing called the TMD, time manipulation device, you end up getting. And that's your Bioshock-y kind of thing that you upgrade. It's on the cover. I don't know why I'm showing you in my hand. You can use it to manipulate time. You can age things, or you can bring them back to their their new state. I was under the impression that you could age and youngify, trademark that word, people, but you only age them. When you shoot them with this, it basically turns them to dust. They kind of crumble before your eyes, sort of deal. And there's some different upgrades you can do to that, one of which is called Deadlock, which is kind of the mother of all upgrades for this thing. It's not really that hard to get, but what it basically does is you throw it and it'll wherever it hits the ground, it expands out in like a ball, a sphere. You know, if you throw it up in the air and it hits something, it'll be a sphere, or if it's down low, it'll be like a dome. But anything inside that sphere basically slows down to a dead stop or a slow moving crawl. And except you can stand right in the middle of it and you're not slowed down by it because you have the device on. So a little trick that I did through a lot of it was I'd throw the freaking ball right at my feet and let it expand out, and then just walk slowly forward to the edge of the thing, throw it again, and anytime guys or bullets or whatever hit this thing, bullets slow down really slowly, but they keep coming. Guys pretty much stop almost dead in their tracks as soon as they hit this thing. And you can just walk up and as soon as the thing wears off, everybody just explodes. You know, everything flies everywhere. I use the Deadlock almost exclusively and pretty much walk through the game with little or no problem. I mean, I use the guns and stuff, but as far as the upgrades for the actual time manipulation device, I don't know. I think the Deadlock's one of the big ones. Like I said, it's not that hard to fully upgrade it, but it's the one that is really the mother of all the stuff you're wanting to use on this game. I'd say the biggest fight in the game is about halfway through the game. Don't know if that's a spoiler or not. You know, I mean, there's still more game to play. But as far as like, you know, that big, I just remember when I was a kid, or even with the PS and PS2, you know, and stuff, you would play and you expected that the biggest fight you were going to have was going to be that fight at the end of the game with this huge boss. And I know it just seems like nowadays games aren't that way. Either, you know, the big fight will come, you know, sort of in the middle or maybe even close to the beginning of the game. And then the rest of it's just kind of taking out guys here and there and making certain decisions on you know, this and that. And that's kind of what this is. The end is more of a something like that. It's not a big fight. And I don't think that's very spoilery. If you think that's spoilery, don't know what to tell you. That's about as spoiler-free as I can get, because I like to tell people things. But my major beef with it is you are able... There is a couple different endings, depending on things. I saw them all, because you're able to basically... you know, go right back in and do the whatever you need to do to facilitate the other ending. But basically, it's good. You do a bit of time traveling, like shifting, as far as like you'll be in an area and then a rift will open up and you'll go through it because you have to do something in the past, and then suddenly you're in the past, and you're trying to accomplish something. And you kind of bounce back and forth. You spend the majority of your time, I believe, in the present. But the problem is, it's got one of those Doc Brown time travel kind of timeline split at this point, gotta fix it type of things going on. Because it deals with time manipulation and things like that. So that's about it. That's about how I'm going to leave it. I don't think that was too spoilery. If it was, I'm sorry, but you can I don't know, hate me for it, I guess. Kiss my butt. I don't know. That was about as spoiler-free as I can get, and I don't think I really gave a lot away. So if you want to play it, don't pay over I'd say 15. I wouldn't pay over $15 for it, because I mean, I don't power through games, and I beat it in 9 or 10 hours. I mean, I played it like an hour or so one night. I put about 6 hours or so in it the following day, and then I put about another 2 in it the following night, and was done with it. So that's about, 9 or 10 hours. I mean, that roughly. I don't know. I'm not on Raptor or anything like that. So anyway, it was worth it for that price point. Like, I wouldn't go over 15. And it's fun. It is fun, and it is engaging, and it kept me rolling, and I didn't feel like it lagged anywhere. I didn't feel like there was any cheap parts thrown in to kind of lengthen the game out, which they maybe could have done and lengthened the game out, but that probably would have just pissed me off. So I guess I'm kind of sad because it was so short, because I was digging it. But at the same time, if they would have lengthened it out with a bunch of bullshit, I probably wouldn't have been happy with it either. Like that. So anyway, I would just see what you can do. I bet you can check it on Amazon. I bet you can get it brand new for under 15. And that'll be my review on that one. I'm going to pound one more review out. Pound it out. I don't know if I'm going to post all 3 of these on the same day, these vids, but I'm doing them all on the same night so I can get them done. And I'll just go ahead and roll into the next one. So see you later, folks, and we'll roll into the next one, and I'll see you next video. Bye.